Good morning, everybody. This is Kirk Spano, Retirement Income Options on Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. Hopefully, the whole country is starting to experience a little bit of springtime. Starting to get it here in Wisconsin. We've had some 50 and 60-degree days, which are real nice. And hopefully, we're pushing 80 by Memorial Day. All right, so retirement income options. Going to focus on some trades today related to the stocks of the week. So I want to take a look at two focused cash secured put trades, in particular Discovery and ViacomCBS. So I wrote those articles yesterday in the stocks of the week. Both companies are buys right now. I think that selling puts is a great strategy. Because I think these are going to be choppy for a little bit while. If you're not familiar with the story, a hedge fund related to a family office got out over their skis with regard to leverage and crushed these two stocks. Both of them are rebounding a bit today. So if you bought yesterday, good for you. If you haven't bought yet, I think you just wait for a good 4-hour downturn, then you buy the dip. So when you take a look at your charts, this is the daily chart, and you can see the RSI bottomed out. Money flow got close, and what do we know when money flow is better than RSI? It means that there's underlying buying strength because this is volume weighted. This we haven't talked about much. This is something I've been using on and off for a while. This is basically a sentiment index. It overlays 6 different oscillators to give you kind of a combined signal. So it's a way of looking at half a dozen things all together. And what you can see is obviously this fell off a cliff. It had to do with the margin calls, and now it's starting to come back. Certainly could chop around for a little while. Take a look at your MACD again, fell off a cliff. Way beyond this downturn or even December of 2018. So I think that you can buy Viacom, just buy it outright, especially if you're a dividend investor. Their dividend is doing pretty good right now. And you can sell the cash secured put. And the one that I'm targeting is the May 21st for as much over $2 as you can get. But that'd be a 5% premium for about 6 weeks holding period. It's a pretty good annualized return, 5%. The way 6-week periods are in a year, right? About 8, say 8 times 5%. We get about a 40% return here. That is actually what it was going for earlier. So you can get the $2 right now. So I would be selling these $2 puts on Viacom plus having a starter position. When you take a look at the chart, it looks like there's potential downside to around 30. You get huge buying in this area. This is one of those spots where resistance has, I think, become support. And I'm not so sure it's going to get through this line. There's 2 fib ratios here and it bounced off. And it could turn back over and go down into here. That's why you don't blow your wad. Just in case it does head that back down into the low 30s. But if you read the article yesterday, I'm pretty high on Viacom. I like what they're doing there. I think Paramount Plus is going to be in the basket of must-own streaming services. So if you move over to Discovery, which also took it on the chin, and it's bouncing up a little bit. The reason why this got spun up, one, the guy doing it, and it was one big investor, was using a lot of leverage. So he was 3, 4, 5 times leveraged, and that created this effect. It's the same sort of thing that happens with Cathie Wood, but without options, without margin. She just has a lot of money to invest and push certain concentrated holdings up by taking up all the supply. So now Morgan Stanley, Nomura, some other investment banks that gave this guy credit and allowed him to operate on margin all had to do the margin calls. The margin calls appeared to be over. So now this stock is going to jitterbug around and find its support level. This is a 618 line that has a confluence with another extension. So a retrace and an extension have some confluence here, and it stopped right at that spot. So this price around 40 seems to be pretty legit. Could it go down lower? Certainly. There's a huge amount of support in here. See all the lines overlapping and then all the volume. So could it go down to 31, 32-ish? For sure, it could. I don't think it will. If it does, other bad things are happening in the market. But again, I think a starter position and then selling a put makes a lot of sense. Take a look at the 40. You can get well over $2. So you can get, I'd be, always ask for the ask and then walk it down. But ask for 330. Then every 20 minutes, if you need to, lower it by a nickel. Watch the market, see what's happening. But I usually change my orders about every 20 minutes. Not any particular reason. In my head, it makes some sense because you get refreshes on the people who don't have real time every 20 minutes. But give these market makers some time to find your price, let volatility do its thing. So right now you get about 330 for this Discovery May $40 put. I think that's a pretty good deal. The reason why you want to own Viacom, again, going to be a winner in the streaming services. The merger between Viacom and CBS just gives them a mountain of content. And if you'll notice, it's the old networks plus a few others that are doing well. Peacock, right? NBC. This is Viacom is CBS, and Disney is ABC. And then you have HBO, which is Warner, which is huge. And then Netflix is your big independent. When you take a look at Discovery, they have a lot of content, but they're not really taken over on the streaming side. I think they're going to be acquired by somebody. I don't know if they get acquired by Google or Apple or Amazon or Facebook or Roku. Roku makes a lot of sense to me, actually, and we'll see. But the 5 big ones that I've identified are going to be around, and those are going to all be services that you spend $10 on. Discovery, I think it's more niche. I think it's filler. I think it belongs on a cable package or a streaming package, but I'm not so sure that it belongs on its own. So I do think that this is a huge takeover target. Those rumors have been out there a long time. I think that in the consolidation that we're about to see and we're seeing in the entertainment space, that it's going to get sold. And I think the top end for its price is probably up in here. I think these are legit prices that it can get to towards 80. So this is something I think you can double your money on. Now, I don't think it's going to go straight up. It's going to take 2 to 4 years. But still, double your money in 2 to 4 years is pretty good. And to get a big fat premium payment by selling the puts, I think is pretty worthwhile. So I own Viacom. I'm going to sell these puts today, see if I can get a price. It looks like we can. And I'd be happy owning this with a net price around 37. See this level here? It's a 1. That's probably pretty close to what the stronger support is. And this is massive support, but this is pretty strong support too. And this is proven at least once to be support. So as you go lower, right, this support gets stronger. Not really any covered call trades today. I've been going through this list. There's the highlighted ones are the ones that are new. Liberty Sirius, I think you just buy this one. There's not much volume on the options. This is the Warren Buffett stock. I bumped out all the Aprils to May, and I'm starting to do that down here with the dividend stocks. BlackRock is coming off the VSL. It's too expensive, so sell it outright. I don't have any good argument for keeping it. iShares. Same reason I don't want Invesco anymore. And Invesco could still rise. I think a big bank might buy them. But BlackRock, Invesco, I think they're worth getting rid of. So as I go through these, most of these are just going to get updated to May. But I am going through them one by one to see if there's something that we should be doing. Lumen's a dividend stock. And then what does somebody buy them out for? Or do they actually make it in streaming? Maybe they can convert to being the sixth streaming player. They have good international operations, so there's a chance. I just really think Apple or Google, I think now that they've seen the price spike, this is justification for somebody to write the $20 billion check. That's about what this will sell for, about 20 billion, 30 billion on the high side. And the reason I'm not interested in a lot of things is because they're just good stocks. Not really interested in good stocks, interested in great stocks. Well, this is something that suddenly, take a look, it's down 50%. Pretty easy to think that it can double, right? So any questions about anything? I really don't see many covered calls to write right now. I think you really should just be trimming a lot of these positions. So probably to start selling some options on NPA as well. 62, get 40 cents for a $10 put. That's for this month. Let's take a look at May. Yeah, this is definitely one you should be selling puts on. NPA, $10 for May 21st. Space Mobile is going to be a big deal. The difference between Discovery, A, and K shares is just voting rights. E is the one that you're going to be able to trade on. All right, well, this will be a short one then. Take a look at the article when it comes out. I think you should be bumping out your strike dates, your expiration dates, excuse me. May 21st, pretty much across the board. Not a lot to do with April anymore. It's only 2.5 weeks away. So basically, these target prices, strike prices, and the premium we're looking for are all just going to be bumped out to me. And I'll update these charts as I go. All right. Have a good day and figure something out with Viacom and Discovery. They're worth owning. There's not a lot of downside, right? The whole point of what we do is limited downside, the ability to double and triple money. That's what you're finding here. All right, take care.